make pizza in this, and we're gonna do this with fresh dough. So to make fresh dough, it's a fairly easy ingredient list, really. Our dry's in first, so it's a half a cup of flour, and then I need my baking powder and my baking soda. All right, so we got all our dry ingredients together. You could do this with yeast as well, but you gotta let bread dough with yeast sit and rise a lot longer than you probably ever want to, so it's just not worth it. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take and we're gonna put, bring this to the screen so you can see it. I just took it and I'm gonna put a little hole in the middle, kind of push it to the side, and I'm going to put my oil and water into it. So I'm gonna grab a teaspoon. And then I have warm water here. And I've got a 1/4 cup of it. You don't need to use all of it. The idea is you're just trying to spin this around to get it moist. So I'm just gonna kind of spin it a little bit, put a little bit of water in. And what you're doing is you're kind of taking it from the outside, the dry from the outside, and kind of bringing it to the middle to get it wet. Again. And we're just trying to get this into kind of a dough-like consistency. It's pretty close already. A little bit more. You don't want to overmix it. At least not now, you don't. There we go. Now, that's my dough, right? So it's just a ball at this point in time. I just got a ball of dough, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna let this sit for a little bit. So we do want it to, do its magic. So we're gonna take it, we're gonna set it off to the side and kind of let it do that. Grab some flour here. And I'm going to throw it on the counter because, well, I need to do some kneading here. I'm just going to put my ball down. Look at that. Perfect. Put some more on top. And all we're going to do is we're going to kind of push it out, flip it over like this to kind of help work it all together. Dough right there, right? So all I'm doing is doing some really basic kind of kneading to it. And then I'm gonna roll it out. So, I got it. All right, got my rolling pin here. And when you're rolling dough, you should never go off the edge of the dough either, right? You don't wanna go boiling off the edge. It actually breaks the edges of your dough. So, it's keep it in the center, go out. All right. Make sure, yep, should fit. So we're just gonna take it, plop it in there, and there we go. So I got myself some dough. All right, so there we go, right in the base of the breakfast maker. So I'm gonna hand this to Connor. We're gonna have the lid is gonna be off, and we're gonna cook it for 45 seconds on high. Let it cook up and set up a little bit. Otherwise, you run the risk of, it's just being a little doughy in the center. So this just gives it an opportunity to kind of cook, right? Like you can see it kind of puffed up, right? So it's starting to cook a little bit. So we're just gonna kind of let that sit. Then we're gonna put our topping on it now. So all we're gonna do is we're just gonna kind of drizzle a couple of rings of oil, just like that, right? Not too much. Then you can use spaghetti sauce, you can use pizza sauce, like it really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. So all I'm doing is I'm throwing 2 tablespoons of pizza sauce and I'm just kind of pushing it around. And this is the other thing when making homemade pizza. Most people put way too much sauce on their pizza dough. Like just way too much. And then it doesn't cook. It gets all kind of goopy in the middle when they make homemade pizza, and it's 100% because they just drowned it. All right. Next thing we're gonna do is I just got pepperonis because I love pepperonis. So you could put whatever, right? You could. All I have here is fresh sliced mozzarella cheese. So I'm just breaking it up and kind of setting it up over the top, kind of in a couple of spots so it can melt down. I'll eat that extra piece. And the last thing we need to put on it is we want to put some seasoning on it. So I'm going to use an Italian herb mix. Again, this is the easiest blend to make just straight down. So again, it is equal parts of 5 things. It's garlic powder, oregano, basil, black pepper, parsley. That's all Italian blend is. So I'm just taking, those 5 things, and we just have a container of it at all times. And when we run out, we just take the 5 things and blend it in there. So I'm just going to kind of shake it over the top like so. All right, perfect. Take my lid, come on the top. I again have done it wrong for the 400th time. And we're going to microwave this for about 2 minutes. And we'll take a look and make sure the cheese is nice and melted. So I just transferred this to a plate real quick. 2 minutes was just on the verge of too long. Actually, you can see a lot of the mozzarella really melted down. So you could probably go even shorter, maybe a minute and a half in this case. But there's my pizza. And Connor and I have had this before. It cuts really nice, like so. And there's my piece of pizza.